Hello and welcome back to my channel. For anyone that doesn't already know me, I am your humble driving instructor known as Josh, and today we're going to talk show me tell me questions. So get your seatbelt on. For anyone that doesn't know what these are, at the beginning of your driving test, the examiner will ask you one tell me question and expect you to tell them what the answer is. Later on in your driving test, during your driving situation, you'll also be asked to show me questions such as, can you show me how the horn works? At which point you'll show them what the answer is. Now, I think there sometimes is a little bit of faff with some of these answers and they're quite difficult to remember. So I'm going to skip as much BS as possible. I'm going to give the absolute minimal answer that I can come up with that I would give to an examiner if I was doing my driving test again. Because I'm completely on my own and I don't feel like it'd be a very good video if I was reading each question out and then giving myself the answer. And I think it'd be rather boring. So instead, we have been kindly joined by the driving test overseer.
Good morning, Josh.
What's wrong? We're not done yet.
Well, that was a bit rude.
Right, now we're done.
Good morning, Josh. I am the driving test overseer.
Morning, overseer. You're already starting to bore me, so can we crack on with the questions, please? And can you read them in the same order that they are on the DVSA website? That would be really helpful for everyone else.
Well, that's not very polite, but I guess so. I'll leave a link on the screen now for anyone that wants to check the Show Me Tell Me website. First, we're going to do the tell me questions in the order as they are on the DVSA website.
So remember, all of these questions are tell me questions, so you only need to tell the examiner what the answer is, not show them. I may show you a little bit just as a demo, but you don't need to and you're not going to be expected to. Don't on your driving test.
Number 1. Tell me how you check that the brakes are working before starting a journey.
So your brakes shouldn't feel soft or spongy and your car shouldn't pull to one side.
Number 2. Tell me where you'd find the information for the recommended tyre pressure for this car and how tyre pressures should be checked.
Simply your manufacturer's guide, mine's kept in the glove box. Use a reliable tyre pressure gauge found at a garage or wherever else.
Number 3. Tell me how you make sure your head restraint is correctly adjusted so it provides the best protection in the event of a crash.
So the head restraint should be adjusted so the central part is actually just at the top of the ears or eye level.
Number 4. Tell me how you check the tyres to ensure that they have sufficient tread depth and that their general condition is safe to use on the road.
First, you want to make sure there are no cuts or bulges on the tyre. Then you want to make sure there's at least 1.6 millimeters, around 3/4 of the depth of the tyre.
Number 5. Tell me how you check that the headlights and taillights are working. You don't need to exit the vehicle.
A lot of people like to overthink this one. It's not as hard as it sounds. It's not a trick question. You'd simply say to the examiner, I turn my headlights on and then I get out and I walk around and I have a look at both the back and the front of the car.
Number 6. Tell me how you'd know if there was a problem with the anti-locking brake system.
Simple answer, a warning light should come up on the dash saying ABS.
Number 7. Tell me how you'd know the direction indicators are working. You don't need to exit the vehicle.
Turn my hazards on, get out the car, walk around and have a look.
Number 8. Tell me how you check the brake lights are working on this car.
I'd ask my kind friend here to get out, walk around and have a look, or I'd simply drive to something reflective such as a wall or a window and look at the reflection, see if there's a reflection for both lights. If there is, I know they're working.
Number 9. Tell me how you check the power assisted steering is working before starting a journey.
This question sometimes confuses people and I guess it's trying to get a simple answer out. Easiest way that I can put it, apply some pressure to the steering wheel, turn the car on. If the wheel loosens up, your power steering is working fine. If it doesn't, your power steering is knackered.
Number 10. Tell me how you switch on the rear fog lights and explain when you use them. You don't need to exit the vehicle.
This answer sometimes throws people as well. In my car, to turn them on, you twist this knob here twice, that'll turn the rear fog lights on. When would I use them? I'd use them when visibility is less than around 100 meters. This doesn't have to just be fog, this could be snow or heavy rain as well.
Number 11. Tell me how you'd switch the headlights from dipped to main beam and explain how you'd know the main beam is on.
Again, however, this is only a tell me question, so I'd just say I'd turn this onto dipped headlights, then I'd pull this lever and I'd see a blue light there to show me that the main beams are on.
Now the last 3 tell me questions here require you to actually open the front bonnet, so make sure you know how to open the bonnet.
So in my car, to open the bonnet, we have to pull this lever just over here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. That's the lever pulled, you heard the bonnet go. Let's get inside that bonnet. So to open my bonnet, there's normally a lever somewhere. In my car particularly, there's a lever right here. Always remember, because it's just above the P for Peugeot. Get your hand under there. It takes a bit of finding. Can you hear it there clicking? So I'll pull that up. I'll lift the bonnet at the same time. This is going to be interesting to do with one hand, but I'm sure I can do it. If you're B&Q it. The bonnet hatch goes in there. Make sure you get it in the right one and make sure the bonnet's actually secured before dropping it. Otherwise you're going to be sad because they're pretty heavy. Yes, the brake fluid is right here. We'd know where to fill it up because it's got a minimum and max on the side, the same as the engine coolant. Yeah, the engine coolant's here and you've got a minimum and a maximum. You've just got to make sure it's between those. Yeah, so to fill the oil up, we fill it up here. To check the oil, we pull the dipstick out, which is here. It's quite long. A kitchen towel or something along those lines. We wipe the dipstick, especially at the end there. As you can see, there's a minimum and maximum mark on the dipstick. There's a line there and there's a line there. You want to make sure that the oil's between that. So you have to pop it back in the hole, give it a spin, pull it back out, and let's have a look. As you can see there, it's very clearly above the halfway mark. So my oil is absolutely hunky-dory. This is all of the tell me questions that you could possibly be asked at the beginning of your driving test. You will only be asked one of these questions. If you get it wrong, it is only a minor, although it's not going to make you look very prepared. So try get it right. Now for the show me questions. Now this is different for each person's car. So you've got to revise in that individual's car if you're using your instructor's car or a friend's car or whatever else.
Number 1. When it's safe to do so, can you show me how you wash and clean the rear windscreen?
To clean the rear windscreen in my car, all I have to do is turn this end knob here twice and hold it. That will release the sprays, as you can see.
Number 2. When it's safe to do so, can you show me how you wash and clean the front windscreen?
To clean the front windscreen in my car, all I simply do is the same lever, but this time I pull it towards me and wham bam, thank you ma'am.
Number 3. When it's safe to do so, can you show me how you'd switch on the dipped headlights?
To turn on dipped headlights, this lever here in my car is all to do with the lights. I twist the end all the way down and there we go. There's also a green symbol on the car as well, just to show that your dipped beam is on.
Number 4, when it's safe to do so, can you show me how you'd set the rear demister?
To set the rear demister in my car, all I simply do is press this button here. As you can see, it's shaped like a rectangle, and if you look at the rear window, it's actually shaped a bit like a rectangle. I press that there. The lines along the window will now heat up, and if there's any snow, water, mist, steam on the window, it'll start to clear up.
Number 5, when it's safe to do so, can you show me how you'd operate the horn?
Everyone should know this, but just in case, in my car, you press the center of the wheel, beep, beep.
Number 6, when it's safe to do so, can you show me how you demist the front windscreen?
So we know the rear window is shaped a bit like a rectangle, and if we look at the front window, it's shaped a bit like a, I don't know what you call it, but as you can see, the symbol is right here where it's larger at the top and smaller at the bottom. And if you actually look at the window, because the bottom's further away, it actually looks like it's slightly smaller than the top. So that would be this symbol here with air blowing onto it. And this is all you do. You turn it onto that one. You need some air, so you turn that up, and then you need it to be warm. And that, again, will clear up any mist or steam or anything else on the window. Some cars actually, again, have lines going through the window, but this poor girl, she's just old school. The final question, the final frontier.
Number 7, when it's safe to do so, can you show me how you'd open and close the side window?
In my car, they are electric, and most cars are going to be electric now. Some old school cars, like the back of my car, you do have to wind the window, but that's it. If you enjoyed that, like the video and subscribe. There's over 50 other videos in my channel, so feel free to have a look and see what's coming out next. They are getting better and better, if I say so myself. So keep your eyes peeled, maybe even click the notifications. Thank you very much.